impressed with Crook. Nice little dribble drive. Radzika will inbound it, and that'll be Campbell, and that'll be the end of the game. Anderson will get the victory against the Pioneers. They win their second straight here in Greenville, and here at Tusculum, Anderson leads the all-time series now 9-6. Their second consecutive win against Tusculum here at Pioneer Arena. Our Pioneer postgame is on the way next. Stay tuned. Your final was Anderson 80 and Tusculum 55. Pioneer basketball continues here on the Pioneer Sports Network.
He was unconscious when police arrived, but woke up when Greene County EMS responded to the scene. Fannin refused transport and had a reported minor injury. Fannin showed signs of impairment during field sobriety tests. A search of the vehicle revealed a syringe and a spoon with what was believed to be heroin. Fannin was charged with DUI and possession of Schedule I drugs.
game in which a naughty logist went off for a career best in an emotional game, losing his sister, just finding out about that on the road trip down there to COVID. Our officials, Wallace Hardy, Chris McDaniel, and Dennis Boyd. Dennis Boyd is going to throw the ball up as we're going to get underway here from Pioneer Arena. And jumping center will be Brandon Mitchell along with Parker Dortch. So the ball's in the air, and yeah, that's a bad jump. That is a violation because Dortch jumped way, way early. And so Wallace Hardy was just trying to get his the whistle back into his mouth. And, yeah, Dortch jumped, and Brandon Mitchell was just going to say, all right, well, whatever. You know, I was talking with Van Brooks last night here in Greenville. And Van was saying, you know, Brian, you know, back in the day, everything was a jump ball. We didn't have this possession era. We started a quarter with the jump ball. We started the half with the jump ball. And every quarter we started with a jump ball. Everything. And you had to work on it. You had to practice it. It's a lost art, I think, because you only do it before the game and at overtime. Pioneer basketball as we start this game. Brian Staten courtside, game station engineer, is the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Hubbard. And that is Trenton Gibson, the conference player of the year, who rolls down the lane for the first two of the contest. Top of the key with the basketball, the Trojans working right to left on your radio dial. This will be Mills. Mills to Dortch, and Dortch will be slowed by Brandon Mitchell. And when Brandon gets into foul trouble, you know, it's usually a bad night for us. Let's just be real. That'll be his first, team's first. But when Brandon kind of stays out of foul trouble and he doesn't necessarily worry about it, then he gets into the flow of the game. He gets blocked shots. He's aggressive. But now he's picked up his first, so we'll see how that changes him. Dortch dribbles it off his shoe top and out of play. That was dribbled off of his shoe top. He dribbled it off his shoe. And it goes out of bounds. No one else touched it. Just pay attention to your job. Oh, my gosh. Anderson basketball. Colin Mills. You know what, folks? When it's inside a minute and I'm upset, it's a bad day. Jumper inside by Jenkins off the mark is no good. And the rebound by the Pioneers. And here comes Gibson into the front court. Justin Mitchell tries a three. This one looks short. It is. And the rebound taken by Jenkins. And it's ripped away by Mitchell into the hands of Hobbs. Back out into the hands of Trenton Gibson. Gibson on the left wing. Stopping, starting, shooting, missing. Rebounded by Crosby James. James with it into the front court for the Trojans. Tusculum leads 2-0. James on the left wing on the dribble. Driving it into the paint, down the lane, around Mitchell, puts it up and puts it in. He goes on the big man and still scores and ties it at 2. Gibson with it into the front court, back to Crump. Crump on the right wing for the Pioneers. To the top, I think, is Brandon Mitchell. It is. Gibson goes to Hobbs on the left wing. Handed off Justin Mitchell. Mitchell around a couple of screens, goes baseline, floater up over James is good. Could be a matchup there because Mitchell just so strong, and he's a lot like James in his ability to score and just kind of control his body angle. Into the front court on the dribble is going to be Colin Mills, the freshman out of Asheville. Watched by the freshman Crump. At the top of the key, Jenkins gives it up left side. On the dribble will be Hillary. Hillary drives it to Jenkins. A whistle for a foul against Justin Mitchell, and it's an and one. Finishing is Miles Jenkins. He's a finisher, and that's what you hear Jackson Miller talking about, assistant coach for the Pioneers, and our scout at halftime of the girls' game. He says, we can't allow him to drive to the bucket. So you put their best defender on him, Justin Mitchell, and Justin has picked up his first foul and the team's second. And the free throw is no good, and so the Pioneers are tied with Anderson at 4 after the missed free throw opportunity by Jenkins, who shoots 65% from the stripe on the year. Right side. This will be Mitchell, pull up for 2, and that rim's good. Justin Mitchell. 6-4, Tusculum. 17:20 to play here in the first half. Left side front court, this will be Dortch. Dortch is really good with his back to the bucket, posting up inside. Here's James off the dribble for 2 from 16 feet. That's good. And we're tied at 6. Back and forth we go. In the opening 3 minutes of the game, KJ Crump, where I've already blown my top once. Right side, Brandon Mitchell. Mitchell bouncing it to Justin Mitchell. Justin on a triple team, down the lane, missed it. Brandon Mitchell battles to get it back and does, and then he'll draw a foul. On the baseline, it'll be an inbound situation. Crosby James whistled for his first, And team foul number 1 on the Trojans. Inbound situation for the Pioneers, baseline front court. It'll be KJ Crump. Crump will lob it out to Justin Mitchell. Justin backing his way in on Crosby James. Elevates, scores, count it 1. Justin Mitchell is off to a fabulous start for the Pioneers. The basket is good. And the foul is on Dortch. That'll be his first, team's second. As Justin will go to the free throw line. Justin in 35 career starts. Tusculum's 25-10 in those games in which he starts. He had an 18-point game against Catawba this year. He does miss the free throw where he is 65% on the year. And the rebound comes down to Anderson. Dortch down the lane. A little runner off the glass is up and good. And I thought he traveled. But again, I don't always see the game because JT Burton always is in my way, like he is right now. Why do I even sit here? Right side front court, this will be KJ Crump. Crump on the right wing, weaving his way through traffic, out to Hobbs. He'll pull up off the dribble from the elbow. Back iron, no good, and the rebound Anderson. Trojans basketball, we're tied at 8. Here comes James into the front court. Driving on Mitchell, skipping it, stolen. KJ Crump has the steal, has Dortch to beat, drives it, missed it. Brandon Mitchell grabs the rebound. His hook shot is no good, and the rebound Anderson, we can't finish a fast break. And then a whistle to stop play. And the foul will go on Hobbs, which will take us to a timeout on the floor. We go to a break. It's Tusculum 8. It's Anderson 8. It's Pioneer basketball. It continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Welcome back to basketball. Tusculum versus Anderson University. Once again, the voice of the Pioneers.
Anderson and Tusculum tied at 8. Anderson basketball as we resume action. Anderson has hit their last 4 shots. They're 4 for 5 from the field. Dortch makes it 5 for their last 5, and it's 10-8. Anderson with the advantage against the Pioneers. Across the stripe into the front court, KJ Crump. Same 5 out there for each side. Anderson's bench a bit shorter. Quinn Nottingham not even on the roster. They've not even located on the stats anywhere, which I don't think is right. Leaner inside the paint, that's not good. But rebounded by Brandon Mitchell after the Trenton Gibson miss, and Brandon Mitchell ties the game at 10. Because that affects the rest of the team stats the rest of the year. But man, that's been really bad. After he returned from COVID, he's been wiped off completely. I was trying to find out some of his numbers. There's not even there. Left side front court with the basketball, Jalen Hillary to James. James, Pioneers in a zone. Hillary will pull up for a 2. This one is no good. Dortch rebound, putback is no good. Rebound tipped out to Crump. Here come the Pioneers, racing it into the front court. Crump changing direction, this way, that way, and then he slows it down. It's almost like he's, doing 50 miles an hour, and that's slow. Gibson, a step back 3. No. Hobbs, put back, yes. Jacob Hobbs. Man, how good has Jacob Hobbs been playing? Had a career best 21 against Newberry. And then against Queens, a 12 rebound effort. His first collegiate double-double. He's been playing great. 12-10 Tusculum. Anderson basketball. Can the Pioneers get another stop as that energy group getting set to come in? On the elbow right side, this will be Dortch driving on Mitchell, rejected by Mitchell. The team's leading shot blocker, school's leading shot blocker, gets another one. And then Mitchell inside the paint. He'll be fouled and will be coming out of the contest as Crosby James has just picked up his second foul, trying to slow things down. Will be whistled for number 2 and team foul number 3. So here comes Legist, Vetter, and James West, that energy group. I will say this, though, the energy group of late has been Hobbs, Brandon Mitchell, and KJ Crump as they'll come out. But this is the normal rotation this year. Into the game will come Mason Carver. He'll have to come in for Crosby James. Inbound situation for the Pioneers. Justin Mitchell to trigger it. And will lob it back out behind three-point territory for James West. Tusculum leads 12-10. A naughty Legist career game last year against Anderson. Has bested that this year for 21, but boy, it was emotional last year. Justin Mitchell on the right side. Working, driving, shooting, scoring. Justin Mitchell. 6'5" junior is off to a great start with 8 points, 4 of 6 from the field. The Pioneers are on a 6-0 run as they have their largest lead of 4, 14-10. Can they get another stop? Here's Jenkins, the slasher for Anderson. Skips it to the left side, Hillary. Back to Jenkins, who has taken over the point. Right side, into the hands of Mills. Mills, Dortch, pass deflected. On the left wing, Dortch mishandles the dribble, lost it off his shoe, and it's turned over. It's a break for the Pioneers. James West can't finish, but Justin Mitchell will. And Justin Mitchell is flying high. And the Pioneers on an 8-0 run lead 16-10. Into the front court, Anderson. Carver. Mills. Dortch. Back out to the top is Jenkins. He'll try a 3. No. Rebounded by Vetter. And into the hands of Gibson. Gibson trailing is Mitchell. Into the paint is Legist. Working on Dortch. Spins once, twice, puts it up. Rims off, but there's Gibson offensive putback. It's no good. And then a rebound. That'll be tied up. That was a quick whistle. And the possession arrow belongs to Anderson. Into the contest will come Jason Edwards, just his 8th game this year, but he's going to come into the game, along with Josh Livingston as they throw some size in the paint at the Pioneers with Vetter out there, along with Legist, who just missed an easy layup, as easy as it's going to get for him. He's upset. He's upset with himself. Pioneers come with some pressure from this energy group. Livingston in the paint. Edwards, he's doubled. Edwards on the baseline is in trouble. In trouble. Lost it. Vetter stole it. Here come the Pioneers. Up ahead, Legist. Waits, shoots, scores. Energy from this Pioneer crowd as well, fueling this Pioneer run. It's a 10-0 run for Tusculum. Across the stripe into the front court. Into the front court to be Colin Mills. Right side, Jenkins, Livingston, Mills, Carver. Everybody touching it around the perimeter. Vetter coming out in this 2-3 zone. They throw it inside, stolen. Mitchell had the steal for the Pioneers, who get it back, and into the front court is going to be Gibson. Mitchell. Can you stop him right now? It'll be a foul going against Livingston, which is going to take us to a timeout as well. We'll take the break and return to Pioneer Arena, where the Pioneers are on a 10-0 run. 11:17 left in the half. It's Tusculum 18. It's Anderson 10. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Legist, a back iron, no good. Jalen Crowder is checked into the game, can't grab the board. Carver has it, and Anderson with it into the front court. Into the contest for Anderson has come Raheem Jenkins. Jenkins has it at the top of the key. Crosby James has 2 fouls. Livingston a 3 against this zone, and Livingston rips net for 3. Livingston from 34% from downtown. And it's, ouch, 18-13. Tusculum. Gibson. Legist a 3. Missed another one. Boy, you don't see that because Legist is like automatic from 3 this year. He's 55%. 18-13. Tusculum stays in that zone. Is that what they're in? No. Well, it is a zone. Left side, Jenkins. To the elbow, down the lane, Livingston overshot it. Rebounded by Vetter on the weak side. He'll give it to Gibson. Gibson, no look pass to Legist, had his shot blocked, and he goes to the floor. May not have been a clean block. Jenkins driving on Gibson, backing his way in, throws out of a double team to Livingston for a 3. This one was dead on but doesn't go. Edwards offensive rebound, kick out 3 ball on the way, and this one is no good by Jenkins. Livingston grabs the board, puts it up and in. Boy, how much energy has he brought to Anderson? A 3 and an offensive rebound putback. 18-15, Tusculum by 3 as their 10-0 run has been halted by Josh Livingston. Legist on the left wing. Picks up the dribble. Here's Crowder. Hit 5 3-pointers against Queens. Won't take one here. Now Gibson, 8 to shoot. Inside, outside. Crowder, a 3. Bang! He stays hot. Pioneers have hit a 3 in 249 straight games. That's 960 of the last 961. 21-15 Tusculum. Anderson basketball. They're doing something in the front court, which I can't see. This is going to be Jenkins. Into the hand. Oh, no, actually, yeah. Raheem Jenkins to Miles Jenkins. Miles. And out of bounds was Edwards when he took the pass from Miles Jenkins. Into the contest will come Thunderberg. So we'll see Kobe into the contest. Speaking of Kobe, yesterday marked the 2-year anniversary for Kobe Bryant's passing with his daughter in that helicopter accident. James West a 3. Back iron no good. Rebounded by Vetter. Putback is good. Will Vetter offensive rebound putback. 23-15, just like that. The Pioneers back up and equal their largest lead. Raheem Jenkins on the left side in the front court. On the baseline, this will be Carver. Back out to the top. Livingston in the corner, a 3. Carver, no. Rebounded by Thunderberg, and can West save it? He can, and it's touched off and into the hands of Crowder. Thunderberg, travel. .803 to play in the first half. Dortch will come back into the game. Great energy. And Livingston comes in, providing that spark for Anderson. Edwards, in just his 8th game played this season, has been called to duty early for Anderson as well. Raheem Jenkins on the right side. Livingston. Carver down the lane, and it'll be fouled by James West. It'll be 2 free throws when we come back after this timeout. A timeout on the floor. It's Tusculum 23. It's Anderson 15. Pioneer basketball continues after this from Pioneer Arena on the Pioneer Sports Network.
In 19
the Anderson Trojans. Carver will go to the free throw line. Let's check this conference scoreboard. LR leads Mars Hill 17-13. Our next opponent Saturday. Queens defeats Newberry 76-61. They'll stay on top of the league despite what happens here today or what LMU does with Carson Newman. Carver missing the first. Of course, LMU losing to Catawba over the weekend. That was a great game by Catawba. It's 12-11, LMU leading Carson Newman. Coker is playing Wingate, and the Bulldogs leading 28-15, and it's Catawba leading Limestone 22-21 in the first half. Carver goes 1 for 2. It's 23-16 here. Thunderberg stays on the floor for the Pioneers. Gibson, meanwhile, has just 2 points. He's 1 for 6 from the field. He's on the bench. Crowder has the three for Tusculum, lobs it to West, who takes off in this zone, and a whistle for a jump ball, and the arrow stays with Tusculum with 6 seconds to shoot. I missed too much of the game. Vetter, a legist with Thunderberg, Crowder, and West on the floor for the Pioneers right now. Vetter on the lob. West catch and shoot three. Bang! James West made it look effortless. And a violation on the inbound for Anderson's Raheem Jenkins. He stepped inside play. And the Pioneers will have the basketball back, leading by the largest margin of the game of 10 at 26-16. They're going to put 20 seconds on the clock. I don't know why. It should be 30, right? It's a complete change of possession. I don't understand the rules of basketball anymore. Lobbing it, Vetter on the baseline, watched by Livingston, and he'll lose it. Had it knocked away from behind, and it leads to a break, but Legist will slow it down. Raheem Jenkins doubled. They'll throw out of that to Carver. Here's Livingston. Livingston in the corner is Raheem Jenkins for three. It's good. Raheem Jenkins just 14% on the year from downtown, knocks it down. It's 26-19, Tusculum. Across the stripe in the front court. At the top, this is going to be Vetter. Crowder will fake a three, working against Parker Dortch, the 5. So a bit of a mismatch there, if you will. West a three. No. Long rebound to Vetter for the Pioneers. Back out to Thunderberg, a three. No. And the rebound comes down to Raheem Jenkins. Jenkins gets through 2. Weaving his way through traffic. Layup right to the rim is in. And J.T. Burton did not like that at all. He's going to burn a timeout here in this first half. So for the Pioneers, at 11-5 on the year, 11-3 in the league, going to bring in the brand new 5. It's Queens atop the league table now at 13-3. They're 17-3 on the season, ranked 22nd in the country. Tusculum and LMU each at 11-3 as it stands right now. But Queens has the one extra game ahead of both Tusculum and LMU. Then you've got Wingate at 11-4. Carson Newman at 10-5. Newberry's 9-5. Catawba 7-8 after that thrilling win against LMU Saturday. Anderson at 6-9, and then there's Mars Hill at 4-8. They are the number 8 seed right now as it stands. Limestone, Coker, LR, and Wise on the outside looking in. Wise hasn't won a game in the league. They have one win all year. They have Emory. They played Emory and Henry last night. I don't know what happened. KJ Crump out there. Trenton Gibson out there. Jacob Hobbs out there. Baseline jumper is good by Hobbs against the Anderson zone, and Hobbs made that look pretty easy. 28-21 Tusculum. Justin Mitchell back out there with Brandon Mitchell. Against the zone, Carver penetrates. Livingston, extra pass. This will be Mac Burgett, and Burgett drives it and scores it. 28-23 Tusculum. Against the zone, they've kind of given up some dribble drive here against Anderson. That's the point of the zone. Right side, this will be KJ Crump on the top of the key. Bouncing it back door for Hobbs. Tough fadeaway baseline jumper is no good. And the rebound, Gibson had it. And he's going to go to the floor with simultaneous possession. And they continue to battle for it. This is what I don't get. The whistle is blown. Just somebody let go. Somebody's going to get hurt doing that jump. And the arrow stays with, we'll go back to Anderson. Sorry, we got the last one. So 28-23, Anderson down 5. They'll have the basketball. Anderson has made their last 3 shots. They've kind of been hot or cold. They made 5 in a row. They missed 4 straight. They've made 3. Can the Pioneers get a stop? Raheem Jenkins. And this is without Crosby James out there or Miles Jenkins here over the last few moments. Down the lane, Dortch will miss, and Brandon Mitchell will draw a foul as Dortch found a soft spot in that zone, and Brandon Mitchell is going to be whistled for his second. And that'll be team foul number 4 on the Pioneers. It'll bring up Parker Dortch to the free throw line. The Loyola Marymount transfer, the grad transfer, had a 30-point game against Lander to open the year on November 13th. He also had a 30-point game against Catawba some 2 weeks ago. So Dortch at 15.3 points a game. You know, the fact that he has started every game this year is incredible for this Anderson team. He misses the first, makes the second, and it's a 4-point Pioneer lead. Will Vetter will be back into the game for the Pioneers for Brandon Mitchell, who picks up his second foul. Under 5 to play in the first half. Vetter, oh, that's a lot of contact. Late whistle, counted 1. Vetter took a shot to the face, I thought, for crying out loud. And the block goes against Mac Burgett. That'll be his first, team's 5th. I said crying out loud. Yeah, I know. I was thinking, boy, if they miss that one, then they're missing a good game. So Vetter will be at the free throw line. 58% on the season from the stripe. A 62% career free throw shooter. Knocks down the 3-point play. And it's 31-24 Tusculum. Pioneers will come with some full court pressure. Justin Mitchell on the ball dribbler, that being Raheem Jenkins. Whatever I'm trying to say. Here's Livingston to the left side. Jenkins bouncing it to Carver. Carver walks, goes baseline on Hobbs, and he changes him off to Gibson. Gibson's been held in check so far in this game. Here's Burgett working on Vetter. Gives it up to Dortch, who had his shot blocked by Hobbs, maybe slightly blocked. Here comes Gibson into the front court. He'll pull up, give it up to Vetter. Vetter defended by the smaller Raheem Jenkins at the top of that zone. Crump, Gibson, driving on Livingston, fading away, and got the roll. Trenton Gibson. 33-24, Tusculum by 9. They've led by as many as 10 in the game. Carver, Jenkins, Dortch, driving on Hobbs, and 1. And Parker Dortch will go to the line with a chance at a 3-point play when we come back after this. With 3:50 to play here in the first half, it's Tusculum 33 and Anderson 26. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Tusculum with the lead. Parker Dortch is going to be coming to the free throw line to attempt the 3-point play coming up here in a moment. Told you the Emory and Henry played Wise last night. Wise's woes continue. They lose 91-82 against Emory and Henry, who will be in the league next year. We'll have divisions next year. It'll be interesting. Piedmont and Mountain. Dortch knocks down the free throw for the 3-point play. So we'll have like a north, south, east, west, however you call it. And so we'll have divisions with so many teams in our league as Emory and Henry joins next season. And they knocked off Wise tonight. Pioneers into the front court after a zone press. Vetter on the left wing. Back out to Gibson. 33-27. Tusculum with the lead. Gibson into the paint. Out to Crump for three. Oh, that was dead on, but wouldn't go. Gibson couldn't corral the rebound. He had it knocked away. Anderson quickly attacking into the front court. Here's Carver. I'm not sure what happened. There's an offensive foul. It's going the other way. It's on Parker Dortch trying to seal on Vetter. Dortch picks up number 2. Team foul number 6. And so into the game will come Jason Edwards, the 6'10 graduate from Sydney, Australia. Hey, mate. 33-27 Tusculum. Across the stripe. I love Jeff Brookman. Let the big boys play. Not that much contact. They're big boys, too. Yeah, let them play. Crowder a three on the zone. Bang! Jalen Crowder hits another three. What is he, 7 for his last 11 from three? I really wish that one at the end of the first half, or end of the regulation would have gone down. Livingston to answer, no. Edwards offensive rebound out to Raheem Jenkins. Back out, Burgett. Livingston driving on Vetter into the paint. Oh. We've called a foul on Will Vetter. Vetter fouled Livingston with his belly. They fouled him with his belly. He called him for a chuck. He was standing like this, hands up, and he chested him to the ground. And so Livingston will go to the free throw line, shooting a 1-and-1. That's bad. Missing the free throw, almost justifiably so. Vetter gets the rebound. Pioneer basketball, they lead 36-27 here in the first half. 2.5 to the break. Gibson, a lot of hand checking here. That's worse than a chest bump. I don't know who scored. I think it was Trenton Gibson, because I couldn't see the game. I can't see the floor here either. This shot rims off, I think. And then what? I have no idea what happened. I still have no idea who scored that last bucket. Gibson did. Good stuff, get Trenton. He makes it an 11-point game at 38-27. It's an 11-point lead for the Pioneers, which is their largest. Pioneers have made 4 of their last 5 shots. Back into the game comes Miles Jenkins. And at the next break, Crosby James will come back in. Bang! Jalen Crowder right now is James West-like this time last year. Unconscious. It's 41-27 Tusculum as we go under 2 minutes to play in the half. Raheem Jenkins on the drive. Livingston outside. Bouncing it for Edwards. Grabbing it, and he'll be fouled as Justin Mitchell got way high off of the glass. Touched the glass first as Edwards did a ball fake on him. But we're going to call Trenton Gibson with the foul. I didn't see that. Because, again, my view is blocked. I miss a lot of the game. So I can't really tell you what's happening. Gibson picking up his first, team's 8th, and it sends Jason Edwards to the stripe. In limited action from the free throw line this year, he's 50%. Josh Scott will be into the game for the Pioneers. Crosby James will be back in for Anderson with those 2 personal fouls. But Jeff Brookman's like, man, they're on a bit of a run right here. Need to do something. Edwards, good on his first free throw. Jason had a big game against Tusculum last year at Anderson in the Electric City. Again, they called the foul on Gibson, but I think it was on Mitchell. I still don't know who the foul's on. They still have the foul on Gibson, but it was Justin Mitchell that jumped up, and again, I didn't see it, so I don't know. Edwards makes both. It's 41-29. Josh Scott has it, spins down the lane. Count it, one. Josh Scott. So the foul is on Satchel Hester, who's just checked in. So Hester picking up his first, team's 7th. I have no idea what's going on. Free throw by Scott is no good, but that was a Josh Scott-like move from last year. He started the season injured, and it's just taking him a little while to get back into it. 43-29. This will be Livingston. Jumper, that's no good, and the rebound taken by Josh Scott. Into the front court, Gibson, Crowder, heat check three, no. Long rebound comes down to Crosby James. James with it into the front court from the top of the key on the right side, back to the top. James a three, no, it's short, rebounded by Scott with 45 seconds to play. Pioneers into the front court. They haven't changed the scoreboard yet. Gibson draws a foul. So Miles Jenkins will pick up the foul, his first, team's 8th. And if you're watching, they still haven't changed the score. It should be 45. It should be 45 to 29. 45. So here comes Anderson into the front court. 45-29 is our score. On the right side with the basketball is Jalen Hillary. Hillary to James. Left side on the drive. Pull-up jumper by Jenkins is no good. Time for the Pioneers. James West a three. Bang! James, last-ditch three. No, and the Pioneers will go to the locker room with a massive lead of 48-29. That's what we believe it is. This score is all messed up. So we will go to the locker room. Coming up here at the half, we'll have a look at this week in Tusculum athletics as the Tusculum Pioneers get ready for spring play. We'll talk about that. A Pioneer team that's drained 4 of their last 5 going into the locker room. They lead by their biggest margin of the year at the half. And at halftime, it should be Tusculum 48 and Anderson 29. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Newberry next Wednesday and next Saturday. So a big week. 48-29 is our score. The Pioneers have the lead. Anderson has the basketball. Brian Staten courtside, game station engineer, the executive producer of the Pioneer Sports Network, Nathan Humbert. Crosby James will drive and draw a foul against one of the Mitchells. They were both there. We'll see if we get this one right. If it's on Justin, it will officially be his third. So the third on Justin, and again, he's our lockdown defender. So Crosby James will go to the strike. He shoots well at the free throw line this season, 71%. Last two games, he's put up 20 points a game. He had a 27-point game against Young Harris. That's tied for his career best. He's done that on 3 different occasions now. He makes both free throws, and baby steps for Anderson if you're them coming out of the locker room. The Pioneers just got to, sustain it, right? Just sustain it. Great energy to end that first half. Trenton Gibson, cutter is Hobbs, bouncing it back out to Crump. Crump will pull up for 2. Good. KJ Crump. Ball got stuck in the net. So into the front court on the dribble is going to be Colin Mills, Jalen Hillary, Parker Dortch, Miles Jenkins, and Crosby James on the floor for the Trojans. This will be Hillary, Miles Jenkins. Backing his way in is Dortch. And they're going to get Brandon Mitchell for a foul? I just don't. Third on Brandon Mitchell. Parker Dortch had a tough call in the first half, and Brandon's had 2 tough calls in this game as well. I mean, the Mitchells come out. Vetter along with James West will be in. West, 2 3-pointers in that first half. He and Jalen Crowder, boy, if those 2 get going, they're dynamite. Miles Jenkins will have the inbounds at the midcourt stripe, backing his way in. Ball knocked away, and it will go all the way out of play. They're going to award the ball to Tusculum. Anderson explodes off the bench because it was tapped away. But that's similar to what happened in the first half. It went off the shoe top of Dortch, and the officials didn't see it. They awarded it to Anderson. This was a definite slap away by the Pioneers. And now they've awarded it to Tusculum, so they get a break. Gibson driving, banking, and scoring. 52-31, largest lead for the Pioneers. Into the front court is Colin Mills, the freshman out of Asheville, North Carolina. Young, talented team for Anderson with both Miles Jenkins along with Colin Mills. Will Vetter's going to be whistled for a foul. That's going to be his second. Team foul number 3. That's a difficult call as well. You're watching it probably, and you're thinking, Dortch punched him, but that's what it looked like, and it's what it's going to look like, but the contact happened before that. Inside, missed layup attempt. Mills gets it back and then had it knocked off of his shoe top out of play. That's a tough possession for Anderson. Maybe it was enough for KJ Crump to bother him on the shot attempt. He missed that one in close, and then Crump knocked it away from him. A lot of contact here as Vetter goes up strong for the reverse lay-in, and right now it's all Tusculum. Anderson just can't figure it out. They're down 54-31. Good energy to start this second half once again for the Pioneers. They did. This really started against Coker on the road a couple of weeks ago, and I can't believe I just said a couple of weeks ago. 10 days ago. 3 ball here by Miles Jenkins is no good. Dortch, offensive rebound putback. Dortch still working. Here comes Gibson into the front court. Trenton with 10 points. Takes off down the lane. He lost it. Turnover by Gibson. Crosby James will drive it and score it on the fast break opportunity. So the turnover yields 2 for the Anderson Trojans. 54-35. Back where we were when we started this second half. Crump, 3-ball Gibson. Bang! That ball's getting stuck in the net. We must have a new net. Got a sticky ball, that's for sure. James in the backcourt, watched by West. 57-35. Tusculum. James runs into Vetter and gets blocked. And then West loses the basketball. Crump gets it, gives it up to Hobbs for a 3. No. And the rebound taken by Dortch. Anderson basketball. He expected that one to go in. Here's a turnover. Anderson. Crump lobbing it. Vetter finishing it. Timeout by Jeff Brookman of Anderson. And we'll take the break as well and return in 1 minute. 16:27 to play in the game. It's Tusculum 59, Anderson 35. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Anderson out of the ball, out of the timeout with the ball. Dortch doubled. Pioneers trying to stay locked in, leading by 24. And Crosby James will be fouled by James West. He can't believe it. So West will be whistled for his second. It's been an interesting game, and some of the whistles been interesting. So at the free throw line will be Crosby James, and again, it's interesting. Crosby missing on the first opportunity, the junior out of Columbia, South Carolina. He'll have the second. Pioneers 8th in the league in scoring, 3rd in scoring defense, and a +5 in scoring margin, which is interesting. You know, it's a team that's 11-5, and they're just +5.1. They've had a lot of close games. It just seems like every game's tight. And this is the first game in this season for the Pioneers. They've enjoyed a double-digit halftime advantage. James West, maybe a walk, got away with it, did shoot it, did miss it, and the rebound by Anderson, and here they come. Crosby James, right to the rim, missing. Vetter rebounding it. This will be Crump. James West up ahead. He'll do a little look away, and the pass deflected and stolen by Anderson. They recovered defensively. Jenkins bouncing it to Dortch, missed the layup, running it in. Here come the Pioneers quickly into the front court, and J.T. Burton says, hey, let's hold it up for a second. Give the ball to Trenton Gibson. Gibson with 13 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists in this basketball game. Vetter, Gibson. For Trenton, 27 straight games of 10 or more points in a game. They'll draw a foul here and just miss on the scoop shot at the rim. And he'll be at the free throw line on the foul on Parker Dortch, which will be his 3rd. First foul against Anderson. We go to a break. Timeout on the floor. 15-10 to play in the basketball game. It's Tusculum 59. It's Anderson 36. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. Hobbs. Fade away, two-pointer, no, and the rebound comes down and into the hands of Jalen Hillary. Raheem Jenkins is checked in. Dortch down the lane, and he'll draw some contact, very light contact against Will Vetter, who's just shaking his head. Just that'll be his third. And we're just struggling trying to figure out what's a foul and what's not a foul. Well, we know what a foul is. Heavy breathing is a foul. That's a foul. At the line is Parker Dortch, knocks down the first. Here comes Anadi Legist and Jalen Crowder. Also Josh Scott, because Vetter will have to come out. So Anadi's going to have to play the big. He or Scott, either one, are going to be the 4 or the 5. Dortch back to the free throw line. He made them both. So Pioneer basketball, 14:45 to play. It's that point of the game where Tusculum sometimes will kind of zone out mentally. Or maybe I do. Maybe it's me. Right side is Josh Scott, mostly because I usually miss the game in the second half. Scott, West, Crowder in the corner. Back out to West, wants a three. Missed the three, and the rebound taken by Anderson. So Tusculum right now got to figure it out. Anderson in the paint, no. Rebound, weak side by the Pioneers. West went to the floor with the ball. That drive was Colin Mills, couldn't get it to go. And so Gibson lobbing it to Legist, watched by Dortch. Spins, a lot of contact, no call. Scott, count it one. Josh Scott with the bucket. So that was the issue in the first half. The foul went for Scott. We didn't get the points on the board after the Josh Scott and one. They got it all figured out. That foul went against Raheem Jenkins, his first. Team second for Anderson, as Scott ends a little bit of a drought, 2.5 minutes. And then he hit the three-point play with the free throw. Anderson's 0 for their last 4. No field goals in the last 3.5 minutes. Tusculum leading 62-38. At the top is Jenkins, Hillary, Mills. Pioneers have won 4 in the series for the first time in the series. Here's a 3-ball by Hillary that's good. Last win for Anderson here in Greenville. On a fast break, this is going to be Jalen Crowder. He'll finish it. Jeff Brookman there was a great come-from-behind victory for Anderson in 2019, and Brookman was like over the moon excited. It was good to see. It was funny to see, but he was just as happy as his players were. Here's a loose ball picked up by Trenton Gibson. Gibson worked over by Jenkins. Into the corner is Josh Scott. Scott penetrates, spins, had it knocked away. That would have been a foul on Vetter just for looking at it. And instead it stays Trenton Gibson basketball. That's Tusculum ball. Gibson spinning on Jenkins, and he loses it out of play. We just got going a little too fast. But if it had been Will Vetter on the floor, it would have been a foul. Just for him flexing his muscles at him or something. You know, something weird like that. 64-41, Tusculum leading Anderson against a zone. In the corner, 3-ball Livingston is no good. Rebounded weak side by Gibson. Anderson's going to get some looks from 3 in this zone. West, and another turnover. We're just in a hurry right now. This is, again, the part of the game we just zone out. It's like we're playing basketball? What's that mean? 64-41. Left side front court, Raheem Jenkins back to the top. Right side is Hillary. He'll fire another 3. This one's no good. There's Livingston, though, with the rebound. Pioneers got to work to get some rebounds now. Brandon Mitchell and Will Vetter each have 3 fouls. Skip pass, 3-ball on the way as well. This one is no good. Rebound tipped by Livingston, and then a whistle for a foul on Gibson. Gibson's going to pick up his second, and team foul number 6. Oh, no, that's right, it's his first, because we took that one away from him to give to Justin Mitchell, who's also out of the game with 3 fouls. We have fouled way too much in the game. So it's Colin Mills at the top of the key. On the dribble, Pioneers come out of this zone, it looks like. Yes. Mills, Hillary, traveled. And that takes us to a timeout on the floor. We'll take the break and return right after this. 11:53 to play in the game, where it's Tusculum 64 and Anderson 41. Just won for their last 8. They trail Tusculum 64-41. Pioneer basketball, James West on the right side. Top of the key is Gibson. And Nadi Legist. Watched by Livingston. Legist spinning his way to the rim, draws a foul. And really, that's all you ask. The game has been so tight. Tusculum just not getting to the rim enough to force some calls against Anderson. Livingston with his second, team's third. So Anadi at the free throw line for the Pioneers. He misses on his first. Anadi not having his best game. He usually shines best against Anderson last year. A 20-point, 12-rebound game against Anderson. He had 10 offensive rebounds last year. He'll make the second. 65-41, 11 and a half to play. Raheem Jenkins, Miles Jenkins out there. And this is Miles on the baseline right side. Bouncing it back out to Raheem. On the top, watched by James West. Gets into the paint, spins, shoots, misses. Rebound, Legist is going to be taken to the floor. And a whistle for a foul that goes on Livingston. He just trucked a Nadi Legist. And Livingston is going to pick up his third, and then a near technical was called on the Anderson bench. And you know, it's going to happen with somebody. It may happen with me in this game. It's just been weird. I understand the frustration to my right down there with that group. It's been frustrating. Pioneer basketball, they lead at 65-41. They've equaled their largest lead of the game. Gibson throws it away. That's another turnover on Trenton. It's tough to be on Trenton because he's got 13 points, 8 boards, and 9 assists. Pioneer basketball, or I should say Anderson basketball. This is going to be Miles Jenkins for an and one. So Jenkins will go to the free throw line for an and one. With 10:39 to play in this basketball game. Missing the second, or I should say the first. Right side with it is James West. Zach Dixon is checked in for the Pioneers. He comes in for Gibson with 10:24 to play. Josh Scott losing it, going in, but a reach-in foul that goes, again, it's just heavy breathing. Raheem Jenkins whistled for his second, team foul number 5. So Tusculum will inbound baseline front court. And it's the way it's been all game. I mean, you got to adjust. I got to adjust. Top of the key, left side, Zach Dixon. Legist, watched by Livingston. Legist, crossover to the rim and in. 67-43, Pioneers. Top of the key, Raheem Jenkins. That's an illegal screen on Carver. Oh, wait a minute. No, it's not an illegal screen. Zach Dixon's been whistled for a foul. I didn't think you could just run into somebody and move them out of the way. And it's Carver who went running right into Dixon, who I thought should have been called for the illegal screen, but instead it was Dixon who I guess grabbed him, which made it look as bad as it was. Carver missing the 1-and-1, rebounded by Legist. Or my eyes are just that poor. I'm going with the latter. Bang! Zach Dixon with the three. Pioneers have their largest lead, 70-43. From the top of the key, left side with the basketball. This will be Carver driving, kicking. Livingston, baseline 15-footer is no good. Rebounded by Dixon, throws it off Carver, but right to Jenkins. And then James West is going to go down awkwardly as he got into the air to try to block the shot, but it was a pump fake by Hillary, and so James West is going to have his third foul. That is a legitimate foul. That is a foul that I will agree with. That's 19 fouls on the Pioneer. We have fouled a bunch. Pioneers are up 70-43 here. They've hit their last 4 shots. At the free throw line is going to go Hillary, shooting 2 of them, and he makes the first. Shooting 71% on the year. He's got 4 points in the game. Dortch leads the way with 12. It's been a tough game for Crosby James. He has just 9 points in the game, and he's got coming in here averaging 20 points in the last 2 games and 17 points on the season. Into the game will come Mac Burgett. He'll be in. Makai Olden has checked into the contest for the Pioneers. Funderburk is into the game. Here's Crowder on the right wing. Olden, Funderburk on the left wing. Bouncing it to Josh Scott. Scott spinning and is rejected by Livingston, who came for some help. I've been impressed with the way that Josh Livingston, a graduate student, has played. He has brought some noise in this game, and he came out with great energy in the first half. He hit 5 straight for Anderson. Scott driving it, blocked, gets it back, goes up strong, a lot of contact, no call, and the rebound comes down to Anderson. Carver with it into the front court. Crossover, back out to Jenkins. Jenkins spins. Oh, we're going to call this, but we're not going to call that down here on this end. What was going on down here? Jalen Crowder's whistled for a foul. That'll be his first. We foul a bunch. 70-45. Jenkins at the free throw line. That's Miles, the freshman. Missed them both. Rebounded by Makai Olden. Pioneer basketball. Funderburk into the front court. Watched by Miles Jenkins. Bouncing it to Josh Scott. Here's Crowder. A 3. Bang! It's just amazing. It's just amazing what he has done over the last couple of games. 73-45. Jalen Crowder with his 4th three-pointer. That's his 9th in the last 2 games. Going back to last Wednesday against the Queens Royals. 3 here to answer is no good. Livingston grabs the rebound, though. Trying to go a backdoor bounce pass to Edwards. Make that Burgett, who puts it up and in. Into the front court come the Pioneers. Scott, losing it and turning it over, but then poking it over to Crowder, and finally a whistle called against Anderson, which is going to lead us to a timeout. Foul goes on Burgett. We'll take it and return in 1 minute here to Pioneer Arena. 7:46 to play. Tusculum 73, Anderson 47. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network. To 47 is our score. Over the last two games for Jalen Crowder, he's 9 for his last 16 from 3. Went 5 for 11 against Queens. He's 4 for 5 today. It's just James West-esque here in this part of the season here at the end of January. Backdoor lob to Olden, who is rejected by Livingston, of course. That guy has just played phenomenal. Stop and start for Raheem Jenkins right to the rim and in. Pioneers have Olden out there with Dixon, Funderburk, Crowder, and Scott. 73 to 49. As 7:20 to play. Pioneers still going to have to sustain some offense. Anderson not throwing in the towel. Crowder a three. Bang! He's unconscious. Back-to-back games with 5 3-pointers. Just amazing. On the drive is Carver, spinning in the lane, goes one-on-one, missed the shot. Offensive rebound, ball's on the floor, it's loose. And we're going to get a jump ball and the arrow to the Pioneers. Mason Bierster will check into the game for the Pioneers with 6:52 left. It's a lot of confidence for Coach J.T. Burton as he's pulled that first 9 out of the game. Funderburk, Bierster. Some live bullet action. Now, you know, them trying to finish off a game. Pass inside the paint is deflected away. Two Trojans collide with each other. And they're going to stop play as it looked like Raheem Jenkins took a headshot from Crosby James. They may have to pull him out of the game because we stopped play. I guess he's okay. 76-49 Tusculum. They put up a season-high 85 points in the loss to Queens. Livingston, no. Rebound, put back, no. But a whistle for a foul inside. This Pioneer team got a rebound still. The foul will go against Josh Scott. Josh, member of the all-freshman team in 2019. Raheem Jenkins will go to the free throw line. He hasn't missed this year. Sorry. I knew I should have waited. That's my fault. He missed. Second attempt for Jenkins. No, missed them both. Yeah, it's my bad. Put that one on me. 76-49 Tusculum. Into the front court, this will be Funderburk for the Pioneers. He's watched by Crosby James. Scott, defended by Dortch. Olden, Bierster. Scott, he'll try a three. Back iron, and up over the backboard. It was a good take by Scott. It was straight on, just didn't go. So we are into the second half for LR. They lead Mars Hill 72-60. LMU has extended their lead on Carson Newman 57-43. Jenkins skipping it. Livingston left wing. James at the top. He'll try a three over the Pioneer defensive zone. And the rebound comes down to Funderburk on the missed shot. And then Dortch is going to be whistled for a foul, his fourth. 1-1 for Funderburk. Elsewhere, it is Wingate, about 6.5 to play, leading Coker 74-53. Jaron Cottingham has 21. And it is Catawba leading Limestone 68-56. Chris Robinson has exploded for Catawba. He has 20. Funderburk missing on a free throw, not to the delight of his head coach. 76-49. And Dortch slicing the zone defense, puts it up and banks it in easily. Long pass into the front court to Bierster. Working against Burgett. Bierster backing his way in off the glass, banks it in. Bierster with his first 2 points of his Pioneer career. It's my all-name team. A whistle for yet another foul with 5 minutes to play. For the love of God, can we just get through the game? Dixon picks up number 2. Shooting 2 on the double bonus, which we've been in for about a... First free throw is good, rimmed in by Raheem Jenkins. Trent Gibson tonight. Second is good. Out of the game, 13 points, 8 rebounds, 9 assists, 5 of 9. Just, you know, it's been a total team effort. Crowder, a new career best of 17. He had 15 against Queens. Personal foul is whistled against Raheem Jenkins. I'm missing a really good. Apparently, I'm missing a really good game here. It's just no flow. You've just never been able to get into any flow whatsoever. It's like we don't have possessions. Dixon knocks down a free throw. He had a 17-point game last year against these Anderson Trojans. That was his career game for Zach. Earned him a lot of time. He makes both free throws here. Pioneers are over 80 for the second time this season. Pardon me. They won 86-74 against Catawba. That's all my fault. My bad. Fourth time over 80. The 85 points is the most points scored in a loss, I should say that. They did put up 85 against Catawba, 86 and 85. But the 85 points, the most in a loss for the Pioneers this season. And it was in overtime. Left side front court, Raheem Jenkins. 80-53 Tusculum. Crosby James down the lane, missing, getting it back, and then knocked away by Funderburk. Funderburk stealing it, bringing it into the front court. Here's Olden. Dixon. He'll pull up for 2. Yes, Zach Dixon. We're going to call Zach Buckets. 82-53 Tusculum. Under 4 to play. Unfortunately, we'll have another timeout. Livingston on the right baseline at the three-point line. Raheem Jenkins, he just did a nice job keeping his elbow into the chest of Zach Dixon, backing him off. And he'll lay it up off the glass and bank it in. 3.5 to play. Scott, crossover, 3. What do we call it? A travel on Bierster. He made the 3. And then we got a travel, and that takes us to a timeout on the floor. 3:33 to play. Back after this. It's Tusculum 82, Anderson 55. Pioneer basketball continues after this on the Pioneer Sports Network.
Once again,
Timeout. Miles Jenkins misses a three. Rebounded weak side by Zach Dixon. Here come the Pioneers into the front court, leading 82-55. Josh Scott gives it up in a moment to Olden. Olden back to Scott. Here's Funderburk. He'll drive it, baseline, pull up, no. Rebound, Anderson. Another ankle-breaking crossover by another Pioneer. Crosby James, count it one. He went right down the middle of the lane like a hot knife through butter, like it was the parting of the Red Sea. They'll call a foul on Josh Scott. So Crosby James at the free throw line. It's just not been his type of game tonight. Does convert the three-point play, does go into double figures, and a lot of it here late. That's his 12th point. And JT has pulled that starting five, and really he's got a starting nine. This group has basically been on the floor for 8 minutes. And we still have 2.5 minutes to play. Into the contest has come Sully Reams. He's out there. Funderburk. Bang. Bring the thunder, young man. Funderburk with the three. Reams. Jenkins. This is Raheem Jenkins. Miles Jenkins. Back to Raheem for three. It won't go. Rebounded by Funderburk. Dixon driving, missing. Olden getting it, putting it back, and putting it in. Season high in points scored for the Pioneers tonight, 87-58. We're under 2 minutes to play. We'll see Anderson in the season finale at the end of February on a Saturday in the Electric City. I like playing in the Electric City at night. It is a lot better because you feel electric. Left side front court. Scott a three. No. Rebound. Dixon. No. Scott gets the rebound. Olden. Funderburk. No. Rebound. Edwards. Hester. Anderson has it. 1:19 to play. Here comes Raheem Jenkins. Bouncing it into the corner. Reams. Jenkins. Backdoor. Bierster steals it. Throws it off Jenkins right to Funderburk. Funderburk into the front court. Backs up for three. No. Rebound Anderson. Yeah, it's just get into the front court, jack a shot. That's what this time is. Under a minute to play. It's been fun. We've needed a game like this. You know, every game has been tight. Tusculum has a +5 in scoring margin this year, which means every game they play seems to be a tight game. All right, well, it's 60 for Anderson. And again, 60 has been the number for Coach J.T. Burton when you can hold somebody under 60 in a game. And a whistle for a foul that's going to be called against Sully Reams. Bierster will go to the free throw line at 87-60. Again, when you hold somebody, is it 60 and below or is it below 60? The note that I have that I'm trying to think of for the J.T. Burton era. Bierster knocks down the first. It's below 60. Not 60 and below 60. Bierster missed the second, but Makai Olden gets the rebound. Funderburk lobs it out to Scott with 30 seconds to play. Funderburk. He backs it out near the midcourt stripe, gets a Bierster screen, drives baseline, kicks it out to Scott. Dixon, three. No. Rebounded by Miles Jenkins. 10 seconds to play in this one. And the Pioneers are going to get their 12th win and stay at least in second place. Three by Raheem Jenkins. Back iron, no good. Rebound is tipped away, and the Pioneers get the victory with a season best 88 points against the Anderson Trojans here tonight. Anderson will have their chance at some redemption at the end of February 26th.